welcome back to Beyond the Chalkboard. We're so glad to be back. I know we talk about our teaching, our profession, but it wouldn't be right, we don't get into the juicy, the juicy stuff, which I really want to hear about, which is just as important, knowing
the love life,
that we do have a life as well, outside of teaching, a lot of no life. But outside of our lives. But so currently, we're both single. I would say I'm single, but we're both single.
We are both single.
We're both single. I'm on a journey. I feel like I'm open.
I'm on a journey,
I'm on a journey, girl.
This sounds so. It's not pathetic. This is just what it is. We're on a journey. We are.
And I feel like, I've been single for a while. It's been about almost 3 years. And I feel like it took a lot to what I wanted, how I was dating. All of that came into perspective. All of that. So I feel like that's why I've been kind of on this thing, because of just what I want, going through stuff. But yeah, so I kind of broke up with him maybe 3 years ago. It didn't work out. We're on 2 different pages. And that's when I thought he was it, because it was I just started my new teaching job at the DOE, met this guy, firefighter. I'm just kidding. I'll take you for all day out too. And some of them are hot too. But it just didn't work out. So just kind of been just reevaluate, I'm not settling for less. So I'm I'd rather wait, because in the next one I want to do my husband. I want it to be it. So I'd rather wait. I'm still open, seeing what's out there.
You're dating.
I'm dating. I'm dating. I'm open. I'm willing to go out with people, see where it goes, see what happens. You never know. I feel like you have to put yourself out there.
Yeah.
In order for stuff to come. You shouldn't have
to be hiding in the house like I've been doing.
But you never know. They said that girl, the guy can't drop her package. And then, so then.
Trying to be looking at the mailman up.
Mailman, UPS, FedEx. Okay.
But it's not just hiding in the house. It's also you just literally just in a protective state. But yeah, I feel like that's the state I've been in. Just kind of pulled back a little bit. But because I just got out of a year relationship, and it was big changes that was gonna happen. So I kind of needed to sit in that for a bit and learn. Like you were saying, you got to take time to learn. So you've been having these 3 years to reevaluate.
Yes, girl. Long time.
Right.
I'm ready. I didn't even man at this point.
No, there's a difference between desperation and desire. You desire,
not desperation. But I was saying, I did a lot of work. I did a lot of work. 3 years work. Okay.
And you're still working, and that's
you always still work. And even when you do find a man, I keep saying this, you're gonna continue the work. It does not stop because you find what you're getting. Exactly. You still are doing the work. Right. But yeah, it does give you time. And I tell people, don't jump into something. Give it time. Let it work on you. What did you learn from this relationship? For better for the next time. Don't jump into it. So I'm appreciative this time, because once you get it, you don't get it back. What's up with my man? I'm not gonna be able to have that singleness.
And I think that's the difference between this breakup with the person I was with for this year and my son's father, who I was with before, is that from that relationship, I was just on a healing journey, right? Trying to heal. After that, my son was 1 year old, and I was just, trying to heal and take care of myself. But I wasn't really trying to see what I learned from it for myself. Because what I started doing is, I don't know about you guys out there, but everything on YouTube at a certain point, maybe a year and a half ago, was manifestation and affirmations. And don't get me wrong, there's nothing wrong with that. But I got so caught up in doing manifestations and writing a list of what I wanted and not wanted, that I was so focused on figuring out what I wanted and not wanted, but I wasn't doing the work on myself. So what did I learn from those situations that I need to change for me to then attract what it is I want? That I wasn't doing that work. So when I got myself into the last situation, he was a good guy, but again, I was not doing the work on myself for what I wanted. So I attracted somebody who I thought I wanted. And then, I was looking out of a place of desperation. Because if I was taking the time to work out, lose weight, be the best I could have been, right? There's certain aspects of that person that me and him would have never been together. We couldn't have been together, right? Because I was learning from the situation. So now I'm taking on a whole different approach to it, right? And I'm becoming the person that I need to be for that person to find me.
Yes.
And I say find me because I'm not looking for no man.
You gotta look at it because
I'm gonna be here. I'm here.
They're gonna come to
I'm
you.
gonna put myself there, but I'm not approaching. I am not gonna do that.
Let them come to you. Like men are natural hunters. Like let them come to you. If they want to pursue you, they will pursue. Like I said, women present, men pursue. Mm-hmm. If they want you, they will pursue you, right. And they will do anything they need to do to get you. Okay, like I said, that's why I tell people don't ever settle because men out here will do what they want to do.
I have a question. What you think about like this is my thing, and this could be okay. I could be wrong. What do you think about a guy, right? And this could be preference as well. That he's wanting to talk to you, right? He's pursuing you, but then it always gets back to texting, good morning, whatever. But you're not calling. Like I feel like conversations.
You have a pen pal.
This is what I'm saying. And I said this to this person
you already. Pen pal.
Like you're not. I'm gonna keep looking at you like a friend. There's no
action.
Good morning. Good morning. How are you? I'm good. How are you? Good conversation.
Morning, how
like,
are you?
I'm not. Listen. Is it me?
No, it's not you. I had a situation like this too. I call them pen pals because I remember back in school. When you were right, somebody, they said you were that, right? Remember that? Like you cried, or there was, you were pen pal with an older grade or someone in a different school, and they'll say you learned that. There was no, you never, unless you met up at the end of the year, but you never would see the person. Mm-hmm. So if you're a pen pal, you're never serious because where is the actions to lead up to it? Like
this is what I'm saying. The actions after.
And I'm a phone girl. Like where's the phone call? Why are we not missing plans?
I've heard somebody say this. I think it was 19 Keys, right? I love 19 Keys. You know 19 Keys?
No.
Okay. Well, I'll put you on. No. He's Muslim. He has.
He's like a motivational speaker. Okay.
So one of the things he said was, "What's wrong with text messages?" And I get it. There's nothing wrong with it because it is poetry. He said, "Remember, writing is like poetry. When you get to a certain point, I feel, then it becomes poetic." If you're actually writing something with substance. Not good morning.
Oh, what you doing? Yeah, what you doing to death? No, and my thing is like, yes, it is a good way to communicate, especially if you're busy, but it has to be more. Eventually you get bored. You're going to get bored.
Yes, no.
You're going to get bored. You just ask them what we're doing all day. It's like, but I feel like you need interaction. How are we in person? Like, anyone can say anything on. People can say a lot of stuff.
It's very lazy.
They can Google what to say.
It's very lazy. And don't get me wrong, if you're lazy and the other person's lazy, then y'all good for each other. But if I'm telling you that it's not good for me, then that's just not what it is. I gave him a second round about it.
Okay.
2 days, right? That's why you gotta watch people. Let people. 2 days the last day calling, right? The third day.
It stopped.
I was in the car and I said, block. I'm not talking to you about it again.
But you know what they want to. I'm glad you said something, so I respect that. Like you said something, but like the follow through is the important part. Are you following through? I'm literally telling you, this is what I want. It's not rocket scientist. You're not asking for a liver. That's why people. I'm not asking for a liver. Like I'm really asking for a goal.
But that literally could be too much for that person. Which is why I go back to even explaining to a guy, I'm not for you. Because you're not doing what I need, and I'm okay with taking that loss.
Yeah.
I don't actually look at it as a loss. I look at it as a pain I don't need to have. Because you're going to get on my nerves. And if that makes the pool smaller for me, oh well, I accept that that's what it has to be.
You have to be willing, but I love that you have that mindset because you have to be willing to have that mindset. Yeah. It's okay if it does not work. Like a lot of women are crushing. Oh my God, I already planned my wedding, right?
Stop doing
right?
that. Yeah.
But you have to be okay with it. You could be two great people, but it just didn't work for a reason, which I'm glad you found out in 6 days, 6 months, than 6 years, or a marriage, or a kid down the line. It's just, you have to understand, like, getting into it when it's early, realizing it quicker is so much
and not being
better.
And not being a program your mind. I mean, I'm naturally like that. I guess not all women are like that. I'm naturally a person that could detach easily. But I think women are designed to be like that naturally. Like I feel like you have to talk yourself into attaching. I feel like men attach easier when it's a good woman. I think men have a harder time, to be honest. Mm-hmm. If it's a good man and a good woman, the good man is going to attach more.
Yeah.
And if he doesn't attach, that means he wasn't good. I feel like it's speaking.
Or he wasn't in it. He wasn't in it.
It's saying it for you. And if that person, and they do things like we have people we know. I have situations I know with a guy, they do something, whatever it is, right? And you could tell right there, that's a red flag. You know it. Listen to it. You know it.
But you have the Google eyes. That's what I call it. I call that, especially when you meet somebody and you are you're like, oh my gosh, right? You don't see the flags looking real pink, yellow. Okay, they don't really look at red. That's why your discernment gotta be strong.
Yeah, talk about that discernment.
That has to be strong, because even if it is what you want, you have to still have a clear mind.
But talking about discernment, that goes back to you as a person. Listen, you cannot be, and I don't care who gets upset with this, you can't be a woman in the streets talking about you have discernment. You don't even have it for yourself. How do you expect a man to then have it? You have to be living a certain way for the man that you want. You want a man that's not outside, but you at everybody party. You understand? Like, what is it that you're looking for? And if you're fine with, the man that's outside and you're outside, okay. But we have a lot of women saying certain things that they want, and they're not even living that. You want a guy that's very, very religious or that loves God, but you haven't even spoken to God.
Yeah.
You don't even pick up the Quran or the Bible or whatever it is.
True.
You don't do that. But what do you mean you want him to be close to?
That's why you have to practice what you want ahead of time. You can't be like, I'm gonna be a wife, and then no. You have to prepare yourself. And also, I'm big on what I give out, I should want to give back. So like you said, if I want a man of God, I'm over here standing on that myself, all right? If I'm saying I want marriage, because that's how people take you serious. You can't say that, like, oh, I'm home, I'm a good girl. But meanwhile, you see you out in the club every Saturday. 2 + 2 don't equal 4.
And then you post it, and I'm outside. Okay, you gonna stay outside.
Because if you want someone to be a man of their word, you have to be a man of your word. And as I say, you have to be what you want to attract.
Exactly.
Like I said, would you want to date yourself? That's what they asked you. Would you want to date you? If you had to see, would you want to date you?
A couple of years ago, no, I wouldn't have wanted to date me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Mm-hmm. No.
You have to be dateable. You'd be like, would you date yourself? Would you like yourself? And that's a real question. You gotta really do self-reflection. Like, would you want it? Same with me. Like a couple of years ago, that's why I said I think the Lord didn't make me get married, because I probably would have been divorced. The people I was going after, right?
Yes.
But now the healing, what I'm doing, is definitely a different person. I feel like I would date myself now. But that's why people have to do that stuff. Do the pre-work. Work on yourself. Really know.
Which is why I don't believe, I got married at 21 years old. I don't believe in getting married young. You are a child. You have not been through anything. You have not lived through anything.
You know what you want.
And when I say anything, I'm not talking about you got to go through struggles. I'm just talking about any type of decision making. You have not done so. So now you're taking on certain type of decision makings with a mate. And when you're a man getting married, you're responsible. That's a lot of pressure. Like with my ex-husband, that was a lot of pressure for him as a child. You're 22 years old talking about I'm taking care of a wife. Man, you just got out here. That's a lot of pressure. So then when the man starts cheating or whatever the situation is, that's outlets. Mm-hmm. What did you, I remember my father said, what did you expect was going to happen? What did you expect? He was a boy.
Yeah.
A boy taking on all that.
Anybody didn't have nowhere else to put it into. Nowhere else to do.
He probably had certain things about him he didn't even know what was coming out of yet, because you're still young, you're still developing
yourself.
You're getting out into the work field. You're now seeing different things. You're talking to other men who are married. You're like, wait, what am? And so for me, and I'm not saying there's not those situations, and I call it unicorn situations, because it's not all the time when you have people who meet that young and they stay married. Of course, there are those situations where they do. But I'm just saying, talk to them and see how much they had to transitions they had
Yes,
to
you grow together.
who had to dim down a certain aspect of themselves to kind of coast with the other person because, I didn't know that they were going to develop into that person. So now I got to like hold down whatever part of me that's developing into because it's not going to match. Just to say you're saving this marriage. When if you had just waited until you kind of grew into yourself, until you're 30 and you know who you are a little bit more. Because I think back at 30, 30 still wasn't the age, or maybe 32. I'm saying like where you kind of know yourself more, and then you can say, okay, let me start dating for marriage.
Yes. And after you've been in a couple of relationships, I feel like
you
start to realize what you really want. I feel like you need to kind of be in there. And I give it up to people. If you've been only with one person, that's your husband, I give it up to you.
Yeah, I'm not saying that that's a
but I do feel like
my
you
sister has been with her husband, and they've been together since they were 14 years old. But that did come with its own side. That's
why I feel like you need to dibble and dabble. If you do meet people young and it works, that's so good.
But they will both say to you, if you ask them, they'll both say, no, you should wait. Like, even if they're still together, because certain stress could take people to a certain breaking point of insanity. So I'm just saying, like, if you're younger, listen to a lot of the people who are older, and please just wait.
Yeah. And who are you getting your advice from? That's real. Yeah. Who are you going to seek like your counseling? Are you like, I am against therapy? I'm for therapy. Are you going to therapy? Who are you getting guidance from? Are you going to married couples? Are you going to your single homeboy who had a bachelor pad? You know what I'm saying? Like, who are you getting your sources from? Because that's also very important. Who are you listening to? Because they will steer you in ways that will really be like, okay, for the good or not for the good. So I feel like a lot of men out here and women need healing.
Yeah.
A lot of self-love. They need a lot of self-love, and they also need a lot of counseling to help them. I feel like we need a lot more of that in this world to be better people. Definitely. And to know really what you want out here in dating. A lot of people are out here and not knowing what they want. It's free willy-nilly with the wind blowing, and there's no substance. So I think that's where the disconnect is when it is with dating. And you might know what you want, but you might meet a lot of men who don't. Like you said, 30, but a lot of us are, and I'm not going to say men, but a lot of us are much more immature.
Yes. And
not ready for it at certain ages. So, and big commitments comes with a lot.
People have men who are 28, 27 who are ready. Like it also like goes back to upbringing. Who did you grow up with your mom and your dad? Or even if you didn't, was it a healthy environment, right? Was your single family home a healthy environment? Like it depends on how you grew up and what you experienced as well, what you saw as a child. Like all of these things play into it. And if it is that I grew up in a family where I had my mom and my dad, but there are still things that happen within their relationship that traumatized some of us, right? And like we had to now navigate, and we looked at relationships a certain way, and we didn't know that we were looking at stuff a certain way because of what happened. So you have to be a little reflective and give yourself that time before you start saying I do with people. Like that's great. Like it's crazy that people are saying I do, and you have a lot of things that you need to unpack and deal with.
And you know another thing too?
It's a responsibility.
And not putting it on your spouse.
Yeah.
You need to be good with you, and then you're good, and then you come together now and be good, and now you can be good with each other.
Not perfect.
Not perfect.
Gonna be perfect.
But if you don't work on that stuff, you cannot expect happiness out of somebody else and expect to put your issues. That's not that person's job.
Yeah.
So people have to understand that. So they're coming in with stuff, and you're trying to pound it into a relationship, or like kind of like what I'm trying to say, hide it into a relationship. That stuff is gonna come out. Okay, and you cannot put that like. People are not capacity to be able to hold that. I can expect someone to hold on the issues that I have. That's my issues I should have worked on before them.
Right.
And then once we're both healed, now we can be like, wow, grow together. Like if you want somebody that you go to, if that person's not even had the capacity to take on your goodness because they're not well with themselves, it's not going to be good. Like if you're trying to have them to go for comfort, but they're still dealing with their stuff, it's not going to work because they have other things they need to work on. So how can you be 100% in if you still have things that you need to work on? So it's like first identifying it and then knowing, because we all have childhood stuff, but it's like being able to know and then moving on. Because I always joke around and say, okay, so when do we stop saying it's our parents? Because we're old. We're grown.
Oh my gosh. So annoying.
We're grown.
I'm talking about listening to that from family members. Well, because look what happened with this and that. Okay, no. We have to move on from
when
that.
When do we start to know better? That's what I said. When do we start to know what's good or bad? Like, when do we start to know better?
You know, you just lean on, I feel like people lean on those like crutches to continuously do things that are not okay. And then they say it so that you can have empathy for that situation. You got to be careful out here with people and what they're using and what they're saying. Especially when you meet people and all of a sudden it's all about bad news or it's all about, yeah, I went through this.
Your energy. Who you letting your face? Your energy.
We got to be like Ramses on protect your energy. I'm not playing with that. I don't want to hear nothing bad. I don't want to hear, yo, my cousin came to the house and he tried to fight me. If I hear you say that in our first conversation, why are you even in that
And this
space?
is why I tell people the vetting process, like talking, the dating, like I never forget someone says to me, the dating process is so important. Listen to what people are saying to you. Listen to what they're saying. The questions you ask them is very important. What are you asking people? What do you think? Like, favorite color is cute, but that's not what you need to be asking. People are jumping into stuff and you're not asking the important questions. Who are you as a person? You know what I'm saying? Your character. That's the stuff that we need to be getting into. And what kind of energy are you bringing? You with someone that energy is always that's not it. You need to really, I feel like people need to really ask questions and really think about this because, like you said, why is something you in some drama and now I have to be in your drama and that's stuff I didn't have to I don't have to deal with. I think about bringing you peace.
I remember this one time I was dating this guy after my face. I forgot his name. Why he told me we went to go pick up his cousin that got shot in the leg at Brookdale Hospital because she was in some fight or whatever. And I'm in the car, right, picking up the girl. She come in, the other cousin come in. They're like, yeah, you remember? And then why they did that? Hi, nice to meet you. I don't want to be in this. And I'm not judging nobody's situation. I just don't need it. I don't need to. No.
I think it's also like you don't have to deal with that.
And that's the thing, yes. And I'm not judging nobody's situation and what everybody's in. It's like, I'm just not in that space and I don't want it. But then you see here it goes. At that point, I think I was a little desperate because why am I putting myself in that situation?
And now you can put yourself in harm's way. And now you're disturbing the peace that you already worked so. That's what I'm saying.
So hard. Right. For what?
For 2 minutes.
So who was the dodo?
For 2 minutes.
I was the dodo bird. It was me, not her, not him, it was nobody but me. That's why I talk about learning from situations and moving on.
That's why I said don't take it like as a L, take it as a lesson. What did you learn from it, and then what can you do better from it? You know. But I also want to talk to you about online dating. Now that we segue into this, getting to know people, what we see, like I know we talked, like how do you feel about online dating?
I've done online dating and I'm not gonna lie to you. So I tried to get back on there and I went on Bumble. I just have an eek in my system by even going on because first of all, I don't feel comfortable swiping through pictures.
It's like a second job.
I don't have time.
You do work.
And then I honestly cannot look at men but based on their pictures and even what they're saying and go, I like you. It just feels there's something like that makes me feel a little bit disgusted about the process. That's just a personal thing. And then I match with somebody or on Bumble it was a match, but then you have to reach out.
The woman has to reach out on Bumble.
I don't like that.
I'm a lady.
People like that, but I don't like that because I don't feel like I need to talk to you first. So that one doesn't work for me. And so, I mean, I might try a different one, but then I get the ick. I get the ick. And I've done it before, and I've met somebody off Bumble before, like when I was dating before, years ago. I'm talking about 5-6 years ago when I was in the space of dating. I did Bumble and I did Hinge and I met some good people. It wasn't somebody who I wanted to be with. Like I went on a few dates here and there. I always met somebody, but it wasn't what I needed. But this goes back to the point of at that point I don't think I knew what I needed. Now I do, and I think that's why it kind of gives me the ick because I kind of want to meet somebody in person, but I also don't want to block off what could be
all options.
Right. I also don't want to block those. So I think I might go on Hinge and try it.
You want to try Hinge?
I might try Hinge.
No, I agree with you. I miss the in person. Like, I'm such a big, like, hopeful romantic echo. Like, we're in the grocery store and we both reach for the same thing.
Well, there goes that fairy tale nonsense.
But yeah, exactly.
All of that.
But you know, I have tried online dating because I at first was like, why? What has come in my life that I now have to be online? Like, I never had to use online, you know. But I was like, okay, all avenues, you know, like, is it supposed to be my person on here? But I would agree, like, I did meet good people on there, just people that I didn't connect with. Like, great guys, like, they're very gentlemen, you know, always paid, like, good, but it just didn't feel, like, it was, I get, like, a feeling when I'm with somebody. Like, I get, like, a vibe.
You're not your person.
And I'm my person. But it is ick after a while because it's like, you go, you get matched, people are consistent, not consistent, you know, like, it might be people that you're not really attracted to liking you. And it's like back and forth, and like they'll just say dumb stuff. You're like, all right, I'm throwing this out. I'm so small, but now I'm a comedian. Say basically they should make an app and just like make an app and be like whoever's left. That's what it should be called. Actually, that sounds good because well, honestly, it has to work for some people, but it has not worked for me. But I went on a date. Actually, from an online date, and he was very persistent, very consistent. Recently, like 2 weeks ago. And we went out, took me nice, Capitol Grill, very nice restaurant. I love Capitol Grill, very nice meal, good conversation. And then after, barely heard from. And I was like, dang, usually it's the other way around. Like, you know, they say women try to get free meals and then we be out, but not that the guy be out. Like, it just, I feel like a lot of them are not consistent or they don't know what they want. And it's like, why do all that? Go on and see.
But he did what he was, okay, but Brianna, he did what he was supposed to do, go on the date. That.
And it just goes after?
No, the ghosting part is not. Like you.
No, but he did follow through. He
not.
wasn't a pen pal. He did follow through. He did make effort and do the date. So shout out to that. Yes, he did. And within like a week or two, which is like, I kind of like, at first I was like, do I want to do a date so fast? But I'd rather get it out the way.
You should.
Yeah, because we would have been talking still and they would have been like, what?
No, I think a week of just talking, a week or two of just talking before the date is fine. But no, you can't be, no.
No, girl. No. Just play it out. But that's what I feel like I'm meeting men that are just not consistent or they don't know what they want.
Or maybe he realized that, like, I think, right, sometimes when men meet you and they hear your standards, they hear what you want, that could be like, oh, I wasn't live up to that. That's a lot. Or you don't know what made him scared in that situation. Like not bad, but in a sense, like, no, I kind of just wanted something that was a little bit more easier, chill. You very spiritual. I'm not trying to be going to church. You don't know what his thing was, but that's a blessing because that's not the man for you.
Could have blocked, closest to the man that is for me. Could have been
and for him as well. Like, think about it for like whatever it is. Like, oh, that's not what he wanted. Yeah. That's not what he wanted. Not that you, but that's not what he wanted. And I actually respect that. Because you have men that will just string girls along and pretend and play.
That's true.
And then it's probably speaking to how you was on that date, like no nonsense, and this is what it is. You could have just got rid of a Dahmer.
You don't know what.
I'm just saying, like, you don't know what he was like. Oh, I can't get her alone to do that. So nope.
But I'm really big into like communication though. Like, I'd rather you tell me. I mean, sometimes it's good that person does that. Not responding is a response, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do.
But also, so sad to say goodbye.
I know.
But yeah, no. I think we just like want to just, you know, we'll keep you guys updated.
Yeah.
How our dating life is.
I'm gonna get Hinge. I'm gonna let you guys know how it's going. All right.
We'll see, you know.
Yeah, I'll keep my mind open because that's something I need to work on. So I know what I need to work on. So I'll keep my mind open. I'll go on, you know, and let you guys
see. You never know. You never know. I come out with a great story. And we want to go out more. You know, maybe let's go some places.
Yes, and we're gonna get our Instagram together because we have separate Instagrams. So we'll also get one that's with us together.
Yeah, that's great.
And then we can film when we're out.
Do some lives,
and let you guys know how it's really out.
You know, when we have girl talk, just even off and on camera.
Yeah,
we have girl talk, just about everything, you know. And then, you know, like we said, let us know what you guys want to hear. We're open to I feel like we really don't have no restrictions.
We don't, which is a good thing. It's a good thing.
We'll talk about anything, you know. Maybe I don't know. Who knows? Maybe after a couple episodes, be like, oh, it's our husbands.